Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, it's time for an affiliation knife for the month of April. This is our Smoky Mountain Knife Works affiliation knife. Thank you so much to all of you using those links. Turns it into a knife like this for me to review and give away. And I will have to say here recently, when Smoky Mountain had that Rough Rider sale going on, holy smokes, guys. Wow. All I can say is coming up maybe next month, depending on how the timing all falls. If not the month after, we're going to have a pretty nice affiliation knife. Thanks to all you guys using that affiliate link. I lost count how many Rough Riders. I think it was well over 100 Rough Riders that you guys bought. So thank you very much for doing so. Guys, keep using those links. I'll keep giving these knives away just like this. But today we're talking about a Rough Rider Reserve knife. This is a Rough Rider Reserve 035. Now, as you can see, it's one of the modern flipper style Rough Rider Reserves. It's called, they call it the carbon fiber blue frame lock. And that's pretty self-explanatory as to where that name comes from. Now, see, not all knives are red. How about this really nice looking blue knife? But I did have to put it on a red knife stand. So shout out to Tim S., the O-Father, for that. But check out this little knife here. Now, when I say little, it is little. Everything seems to be really pretty well done. Now, we know, Rough Rider Reserve starting off on these modern flipper style knives, adding that to the Rough Rider Reserve repertoire, if we shall. What is there? 8, 9 of them? Something like that. Anyway, very cool. That blue carbon fiber, that little carbon fiber, it's more of a carbon fiber inlay on blue G10, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Carbon fiber inlay on the blue G10. But everything's very well done. Transitions are great. No issues there at all. As you can see, it is a frame lock. We got that pocket clip. We're definitely going to talk about that a little bit. I won't beat that up too much. I actually had a nice discussion with Brian Wilhoit about this. Because on the other one, I said, yeah, I'm not really crazy about it. He's like, oh, okay. So, yeah, whatever. I trust me, I don't tell Brian how to design his knives. So, that's just the way it is. Got a nice little pop of blue there around the pivot collar. Now, it is a right-hand tip-up carry only. I'm sorry for our lefty friends. And our lanyard fans, I don't know. I mean, maybe you could put one, back here on this portion of the pocket clip. You could put a lanyard back there, but sorry, lefties, not an option for you. So, I'm sorry. As you can see, it is a flipper knife. Now, your blade is pretty well hidden, so really your only deployment option is going to be the flipper. It's got some little jimping on it right there that's actually really good. It catches my finger very nicely. So now we're going to pop it. Pretty nice. Detent is pretty good. It comes out. It lets go. It's not super snappy, but it comes out without much problem. Drops pretty well. Yeah, not too bad. Now, like I said, it is a frame lock. You got really good lockup. Got great lockup, actually. There's no wiggle, no wobble, nothing going on there. Now, you do have the speed hole in the blade, but, it's hidden. You can't reverse flick it. So, sorry all the reverse flickers out there in the world. No flickering for you on this one, but the flipper works pretty good. Overall, kind of a cool little knife. You've got, the hole is pretty big in comparison to the blade. It is. And you've got kind of a elongated, not quite hole there. I don't know. What would you call that? A not so hole? I don't know. Tell me down in the comments. What do you call it? But now, it is a little knife, and you can tell why I had it on the stand before, because it doesn't like to cooperate sitting like this with that pocket clip. But we'll get our spec check anyway. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just shy of 6.5 inches. I think officially, what do they say? 6 point. They don't say anything officially. Okay, so good. I can call it whatever I want to. It's about 6 1/4. It really is. Pretty much 3 1/2 on the handle, and then your blade is going to be pushing about 2 3/4, and then your cutting edge just a hair over 2 1/2 on that cutting edge. Grip length, smaller knife again. Grip length, you're looking at about 3 1/4 inches, and that's how it looks in my 3 3/4 inch hand. Now I can just get a 4-finger grip on it. Just, as you can see there. But hey, it works. Cool little knife. All right, size comparisons. Let's start with the bug out because it's going to be a lot closer. But there you go. Even the bug out is pretty much a larger knife in comparison. And then, of course, well, if that's the case, then obviously the bug out is going to be, or excuse me, the PM2 is going to be quite a bit larger, as you can see there. Get a weight on it. What do we got here? Starting out in ounces, 2.7, not too bad. And then 76 grams. So what do I think of this little guy? You know, overall, the build quality is pretty good. The action is not bad. Like I said, it's not the snappiest knife out there, but it deploys every time. It breaks and goes. I got to make sure I'm not putting pressure on that pocket clip. And the pocket clip does not put pressure on the lock bar, so that's a good thing. I mean, the dropper, you know, we might need to break it in a little bit, oil it up or something, but I mean, it's not bad. Not bad overall. Like I said, now ergonomically, this is kind of where we're going to talk about the pocket clip a little. The pocket clip is pretty large for the size of the knife. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and these standoffs are pretty tall. Now, I know I've talked about the ball style clips. Not a fan. It's just not my favorite. They're harder in and out of the pants. This one was a little better than the last one I had. Still, just not my favorite. Now, with that tall clip, because it stands tall pretty much the whole way down, I'm kind of lucky because as you can see as I grab it, the knife is so small in hand that it actually lands in that crease and is not too bad. Can I feel it? Yeah, I can feel it the whole way down. So I could definitely see where somebody would call it a hot spot. I'm kind of on the verge myself, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's just, I mean, it's right there on the ragged edge. It really is. You know, overall, I like this knife. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm kind of torn when they started doing the modern versions of the Rough Ryder Reserve. And who am I to say anything? You know, I mean, I'm just a guy that talks about knives. But it really surprised me. It really surprised me when they started doing the modern style knives. I had no insight whatsoever, but I just equate Rough Ryder Reserve to traditional knives, right? That's what we've seen, the first 20 some models, 25, 26 models were all, you know, traditional slip joint types knives, which quite a few of them I enjoy quite a lot. The Barlow being right there at the top. You know, so it kind of surprised me. It kind of surprised me when they started doing this. I don't know how long they're going to carry these out, if they have a lot more of these designs in mind. They've got some Damascus models that look pretty cool. Some slim models, you know. But as I said, D2 blade. I forgot to tell you, it's a D2 blade. And that's kind of ironic because I was talking to Greg because I saw it listed as stainless steel. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I thought all the Rough Ryder Reserve models were going to be D2. So I did a little back and forth with Greg. And there are actually two of the modern style, I'm sure they're both modern style, that are not D2. The 33 is 5CR, which that really kind of surprised me. And I believe the 34 is 8CR. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the 33 and the 34 that are the not D2 models. The 33, I'm pretty sure is 5CR, as he said, and then The 34, I'm pretty sure, is 8 CR. So both of those kind of surprised me that they went away from the D2 on those as well. Maybe they didn't have stock. I don't know. You know, I don't know the why. I just know the is. So, but this one is D2. And if I could show it to you, and if I could, there it is. You can kind of see it down there in the corner, the little darker on the left. There it is. D2. Yeah, D2. So, overall, you know, it's not a bad little knife. Pocket clip, yeah, that's gonna be a kind of a sticking point with me. Not gonna beat it up because it is what it is, and I've already talked to Brian about it. So hey, there you go. But and like I said, guys, this is our affiliation knife. This is our affiliation knife from Smoky Mountain Knife Works for the month of April. So what does that mean to you? Well, obviously, leave a comment if you want to win it. Because yes, I'm going to leave this run for, you know, however long, a week. You know, you guys are probably seeing this. Well, I'm on a trip on the road to Florida, so it'll be after I get back the next week or so, and I'll draw a winner and give this little guy away. So, again, thank you guys so very much for your continued support using those links to not only to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, but to all my other affiliates, because you guys know I just turn that, whatever I get, I turn right around and buy a knife to give away. And like I said, you guys went nuts on that Rough Rider sale. Whew, we're going to have a pretty good knife coming up. Not that the other knives I have aren't, but it's always nice to do something a little special for you guys. So, as always, guys, thank you so much. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of the Rough Rider Reserve 035? Thank you for stopping by, as always. And like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. And in this case, just might win you this little knife. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.